Hello and welcome to another episode of Chris's Knits. I'll be your host, Miss Chris, where we'll be talking about my journey as far as knitting and crochet goes, as well as the life that I currently live in Japan. I'll be discussing yarn and my projects that I'm working on, and pretty much everything. It's going pretty amazing. I've got two really big projects that I'll talk to you about after this. Well, welcome back to Chris's Knits. And I have been working on two projects. One is a crochet project and one is a knitting project. So let's start with the knitting project, which I just started 3 weeks ago. So I decided that I was going to do a scrappy cardigan. So these are my two fronts. They don't match up, so it'll be really fun and like colorful, but having a similar tone. So this will be open and I'll have buttons and they won't match up. It'll be really fun. And so those are the two front panels. They are 50 stitches each. I'm quite a big girl, and I wanted this to be kind of an oversized cardigan, just so something I could kind of like throw on when it's chilly in the mornings. So I wanted it to just be big and like comfy. So I'm using a lot of scraps, using quite a bit of scrap yarn where I didn't have enough to make an actual thing, like little scraps like this or like this. I don't have enough to make a scarf or a hat or anything, so I'm just putting them all together and making them into a cardigan. Now, these pieces do seem really uneven, don't they? But once I connect everything together and I put on a border, it'll all come together and it'll all be really cool and it'll all make sense. So I have my two front panels, which are quite wide. This should be really nice and warm and cuddly. And I just recently started on my back panel, which is 100 stitches. So this is currently how far I've gotten. I've been working on it for 2 hours because it's 100 stitches. So the first ball of wool I have that I'm working on with it is this little guy. And I'm just gonna, make my decisions about the other little guys as I go. These all came in the same, lot, because I buy a lot of my yarn used. And so there was a lot of, mixed yarns, where there's, 5 or 6 different threads of different colors. And so that's kind of what I'm using on this project, because I'd really none of them have enough to make any project, so I kind of want to get them out of my stash. So that is my big knitting project. And I think I'm probably going to finish my knitting project before I finish my crochet project. So my crochet project is, I decided that I wanted to crochet a cute little skirt. But I made this decision a long time ago. And I wanted it to be quite tight, quite layered, so that it would look more like this as I was wearing it and would be quite drapey. But now I'm not quite sure if I want it to be tight around my body or maybe a little bit looser. Put a rubber band. Put a band around the outside to kind of keep it together. Because if you go too far, you can kind of see through it. And I don't want anyone seeing my underpants. So this is how far I've gotten on this. This is like a 6-month project that I've been, not 6 months, 3 months project that I've been working on and off. The problem with it is that it's become too big to be portable. And my working bag is quite heavy and hefty. And so I mostly just work on it at home. But that doesn't leave me a lot of time because I have a lot of things to do, like clean my apartment and do my dishes and wash my clothes and all those things. I am living in Japan, so it does make a few things a little bit less convenient. I don't have a washer and dryer, for example. I have a washer, but I dry my clothes in my apartment or out on the balcony. So that does... It requires my brain to do a lot more focusing. So, like, for example, when I'm knitting, my brain is hyper focused on the knitting. We're just knitting, 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 go, 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 go. Same with crochet. But every time that I have to take a break, then I lose my concentration. And it might take quite a while to get it back. And it's the same with chores. If I start, like, let's say I'll do laundry, right? I only have a washer. So then I hang up all my clothes to dry. And then that's where the laundry usually ends. Because I forget to take them down. That's kind of what happens to me. I do have ADD, so it is part of that. Basically, if I don't see it, I don't think about it. If I don't think about it, I don't see it. So I don't notice things like messes, usually. I don't notice things like, oh, that shirt has been hanging up for 3 days now. It's probably dry. You should take it down and put it away. That just doesn't occur to me, like, to do it. It's just like, oh, I had to walk past a shirt. Okay, now I go about my business. It's unless I have a routine, I really am just floating out there. So I think the problem with my knitting and crocheting before was that I didn't have a routine. I was going to the gym, I was playing video games, I was doing this, I was doing that, and I wasn't focusing on my craft. And that was leading to a little bit of depression and like, why do I have all this yarn if I'm not going to do anything with it? And it really wasn't working for me. So I stopped playing games, and I haven't been to the gym in about 3 weeks. And now I have half a sweater and probably about half a skirt finished. So I guess it's a toss-up for me. What am I going to do? Am I going to focus all my attention? And I've started cooking again as well, which it was something that I felt like I didn't have time to do before. So I've been cooking, and I've been making things. Whereas before, I would go to the gym, I would order food, I would play some video games, and I would go to bed. And that was my, like, system. And that doesn't leave a lot of time for yarning over or, you know, knitting. But I still kept up with this channel. I've kept up with this channel for officially 6 months. I have nearly 100 subscribers in 6 months, so that's pretty good. For a knitting channel where I just talk, basically it's a blog about me. And it's not a very exciting blog. It's not a very well lit blog. It's not a very well audio blog because I don't have the funds right now to make it fancy. But maybe that will come with time. Maybe that will come with more subscribers. Like, I've already hit the hours that I need to this month to become a YouTube affiliate, but I still need over 900 subscribers. So if it took me 6 months to get 100 subscribers, I think it's going to take me quite a long time to get up to 1,000 subscribers. I wonder if I'm interesting, because most of my comments are in foreign languages. And they're just like, I love you. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that was Portuguese? I don't know. So that's funny. Yeah, I think that's really all I had to talk about today. I will return to working on the back of my sweater cardigan. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do the border. Kind of leaning towards a crochet border to give it a bit of stiffness, but then I've never done a knitted border. I'd have to learn how to pick up stitches, and then I don't know if it would give it the support that it needs. So I'm still contemplating that. I'm watching YouTube videos and trying to understand garment making, because honestly, I'm kind of a, because of my ADHD, I'm kind of a by the seat of your pants knitter or crocheter. I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'll just kind of like make these things and then put them together and then it'll be a thing. Or I'll do this for a while and then wait, I might change my mind about what that's going to be. Or I might just like go for it and then we'll see how it turns out. So, I might end up with clothes that don't fit me, or end up with more than I bargained for or less than I bargained for. I'll never know. I never know until the project's finished what exactly it's going to be. Because I keep changing my mind. Which is good enough for me, but if I want to sell things, then it's not that great. Because people will want certain things, and I will not be able to provide those certain things because my brain doesn't work that way. So, yeah. Things at work have been going well. I've been really enjoying teaching the first grade. They're so cute. Yeah, it's pretty much all that's going on with my life. It's very exciting. G7 Summit is this weekend. So there'll be a lot of foreign dignitaries in Hiroshima City this week and this weekend. So I'm going to kind of be staying in a little bit. So I might focus on my crafting. I might focus on, a little bit knitting and see how it goes. I think that would be good. So thank you for coming to another episode of Chris's Knits. And I'm Miss Chris, and I was so glad to see you again. I'm happy anytime you come. You have a nice day, okay?